Hi, this is Frank Dukes.
This is Mohamed Kisi, alias Bongpo.
Hi, this is David Worth. I was the director of photography on Bloodsport and the director of Kickboxer.
This is Haskell Von Anderson III. I was Winston Taylor in the movie Kickboxer.
This is Paul Herzog, composer of the music from Bloodsport and Kickboxer.
This is Stan Bush. I sing Fight to Survive in the movie Bloodsport. You're listening to Justin Ray Harvey.
Fight to survive!
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have Raven Benjamin. Raven Benjamin, welcome to the show, my brother.
Hey, Jay. It's good to be here.
Glad to have you, my friend. You were actually recommended to be on the show from a good friend of mine who is also named Raven, Raven Kane. So, and you know, he was telling me about your story, and we've had a few discussions on the phone before this interview, and tell us a little bit about, you know, your books and what you do, Raven. So.
All right, I would say the survival skill teacher in the 80s and 90s pretty heavily, and I wrote a book on survival skills recently, and I've written several other subjects, but my newest one that I'm particularly proud of that I'd like to to kind of promote or talk about tonight is the book I wrote called Raven Quest. It's actually a fantasy fiction series, and as of now, I have 2 books written in it, and I also have a third book that I'm getting close to the end of. I don't know how many books that there'll be in before it's over with. Book 1, though, has been released in Kindle book and paper book. It's a paperback rather. And it focuses on a couple of characters, Raven and another character called Sky. So in a sense, you know, I've kind of written myself into it in a way that I can kind of live a story that perhaps I would like to live or something. You know, I was really pleased with it. That's how it's turned out so far.
Oh, definitely. And I checked out your movie trailer promoting your book on YouTube, and I absolutely love it. Can you give my audience the address so that they can check out that trailer as well? On your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I'd have to find it real quick. Give you the exact address. Hold on.
One second, ladies and gentlemen, while he's checking out the address there. And while you're checking that, Raven, you also have a website called The Way, correct?
Way the Raven, yes.
Yes.
A website called Way the Raven. It can be found at waytheraven.net. That's my main website. I also have a couple of Facebook pages that are basically fan pages, and to find out more about the books that I've written, there's one dedicated just to Raven Quest series. There's also one dedicated to my survival skills and that series. Let's see. The trailer for the Raven Quest book is www.youtube.com and /watch, WATCH ? V = MJD4RT5KB6U. Unfortunately, as far as I know, they don't allow you to name it something simple. So that's the assignment. That's the designation. If you can't remember that, though, just go to my website at waytheraven.net and on my button that says books and find my book Raven Quest. And there's a link there I put there for that purpose to click on. That'll take you right to the trailer, the book, and also to how to order the book. So.
And also, what I wanted to discuss, you're Native American as well, correct?
That's correct. My great grandfather was Cherokee.
Wow. Can you share some knowledge with us, or maybe a story on the show?
Regarding being Cherokee?
Yes, sir.
unfortunately, I didn't know my great-grandfather real well. I just sort of traced looking at my roots and talking to relatives. I know that he was a Cherokee. I think ever since then, though, that I found that out for sure, I've been pursuing those ways and trying to find out more about my heritage. Mm-hmm. And I've always felt, close to the earth and just, always appreciated all the things in the woods, and woods always made more sense to me than civilization. And even when I tried out as a Boy Scout or as a young lad, then they had us carrying practically the whole camping store on our back, and there's something called to me inside that the more skills you have, the less stuff you got to carry with you. And I couldn't see primitive people carrying all that, so I kept studying the ways of Cherokee and lots of other primitive people all over the world. And I started seeing a lot of commonalities of all people, and realized that if you go back in anyone's heritage far enough, no matter what part of the world you're from, there was a time that we all practiced Stone Age skills, which means Stone Age, there was Iron Age, there was a Bronze Age, there was also Stone Age. So those ages are referring to the technology levels of human beings. The Stone Age, they were using stone, bone, and wood, of course, to live. And I found myself just needing less and less stuff, and ran into other people that were like-minded, and of Native American heritage and otherwise, and I just learned a lot of stuff. I learned before long I was actually teaching it. It just seemed like it came natural to me. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, maybe somehow I've always thought that there possibly some things are just kind of written upon a biological tablet inside of all of us, because some people just seem to be more natural, warriors or survival people, or you just see things that some people just seem like they know how to do somehow deep inside of them, and then it's awakened, and once you pursue it and become good at it, that's kind of the path I've been on, is just appreciating the creation and finding out there's ways in it. Even in my new book, it shows in there, my characters there are, a lot of my survival skills show in there, because my characters in there basically start out living in a Stone Age type environment. I mean, they're using atlatls and slings and spears and stone tools and stuff, So, it's been quite a journey, and it continues to be an exciting journey.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And how many books with this series are you planning on writing? Possibly, is it going to be like a 3-book series? Can you give us a good idea of how you want to do this series? Like, are you going to do like 3 books or 5 books, or
at this point, I'm not going to put any limit on them. The way that I write, it's not like where I get an outline, I plan it, and I know where the series is going and every story's going. It's really, I don't know if anybody else writes this way, but when I start writing, it's just, I'm like living in that moment, and I become that character, and as I'm writing, sometimes I'm like, well, I wonder what's going to happen next myself, and I just keep writing, and eventually, the story plays out, and I can see already that it should be at least 4 books, and it may go beyond that, because I've already got 2 written, and the third one is I'm well into it. It should be. I'll probably finish writing it in the next couple of months. Deliberately staggering them, to hopefully build up some momentum and some type of fan base. I've got book 1 out now, but I'm probably going to wait till summer to release book 2, even though it's already written. So hopefully build up excitement, from the people that are reading book 1 that they can't wait to see book 2, and then around Christmas release book 3 or something.
Oh, absolutely. And what inspired you to write these books? How did this, come about?
Well, I've always been a big fan of the genre of fantasy. I mean, when I was younger, I read a lot of fantasy, and I cut my teeth on J.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, and different ones, and I just couldn't get enough of it, man. And then when movies started just developing and evolving like they were, and you started to see these fantastic worlds that CGI was creating while telling these stories, then it just inspired me more and more. And I find that I myself writing short stories that were real allegorical. Like I could take fantasy characters, in other words, and have them, do things in their life, or show forth certain characteristics, and a lot of times even portray in a sort of a fantasy way of maybe something I had discovered in my life, something I had went through in my life, but it comes out in an exciting and adventure way, and a lot of times even the characters I write are people I know, which is kind of interesting, and they end up becoming some type of creature or something in my stories, So
Wow.
I've just always been fascinated by it. I love the whole genre of fantasy.
Oh, me too, my friend, because and this is one of my sayings, too much reality can be boring, You got to have some fantasy in life to enjoy life, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah, fantasy is just one of those areas. I mean, it lets you escape for a while. It lets you see worlds, and you can make points, and even tell more. Come to morals in the story, points that you're trying to make, that hopefully people will get some unwritten message there, and maybe inspire them to better our world or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And I got to tell you, these past few days that I've been talking to you, you're a very awesome dude and very knowledgeable. And I enjoy talking with you. So.
Yeah, I'm so glad Raven introduced us. I'm glad to know you too, and look forward to talking to you in the future. And hope this one interview won't be the end of it. We'll definitely stay in touch.
Well, absolutely. It's like, it would be great for y'all two to work together. Then y'all could be like the Raven and Raven connection or something,
Yeah. Actually, he approached me on Facebook about that. He said he's going to be maybe moving to probably, I think he said in Virginia area, and but he's wanting to conduct some martial arts classes, but include survival training in it. And I'm like, wow, so that's a great idea. We can train outdoors and stuff, and I could show people how to make fire without matches and plants, just sort of really engage in the whole ancient martial arts experience, because those guys in the old kung fu places, they had to know plants that kill and plants that heal, and they had to know the yin and the yang of things, and so it's a great opportunity, I think. There was one martial artist in Boone, North Carolina, that I connected up with one time, and he was and I had a class that he was in on, and in some caves and stuff. There's some little overhang rock type caves, no real deep caves, right in Boone. And we went there and we camped and we did survival skills, and it inspired him so much that he's made it a regular part of his curriculum now. He teaches Arnis and Eskrima. He teaches the Mak. He teaches in ninjutsu and Wusa. What's the one? I can't remember. Wing Chun Kung Fu, and he's also now he's incorporating survival skills in that. He takes his advanced students out and trains them in the outdoors how to survive. So that's pretty cool.
Wow. Well, Raven, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this show. And do you have any final thoughts? And I want to say to you, thank you for being on the show. And I hope whenever you're doing something new or updating something, that you will come back and be on the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I just want to encourage all your listeners to visit my website, wayoftheraven.net, and I think they'll find it really interesting. There's some video there. There's several links there to different books I've written. There's a blog that I do. There's a way to the button you can click on there to email me if they're interested. My book's also available on Amazon. Of course, the Kindle is available on Amazon, and then the paperback is also available on Amazon. But ordering it right from my publisher, they may get a better price and stuff, and so I encourage them to do that. And I think it's an exciting book. I think everybody's going to really love it. If you like the fantasy genre at all, I've created my whole own mythology, so there's not your average unicorns and elves and stuff like that. I've created my own world and my own creatures, and I think that people will be able to relate to the characters, how they rise up and become the heroes of Terrazine, and all the adventures that they have, and the villains they face, and maybe even see something in there that'll kind of inspire them, in some way. So really encourage everybody to buy a copy of Raven Quest and look out for the rest of the series. The first one's called Here Be Dragons, and the second one's coming out in this summer called Scroll and the Key. I think it's going to be an exciting adventure series if anybody's into fantasy. I think that they will not be disappointed.
Oh, absolutely, Raven, and we'll be talking to you again in the future, my friend.
Okay, well, good talking to you, and I'll definitely stay in touch and keep you going on what's in my world, and see if it's something your listeners might be interested in. Good meeting you, Justin.
Good meeting you too, my friend, and I will be calling you back here in just 2 seconds, so I need to see if this actually recorded, so.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good, my friend.
All right. You take care. Have a great day. Great evening.
You too, my friend.